Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the English Hub with Mr. Hudson. Today we have in our midst one of the very best in Aunar Villavicencio. He goes by the name Oscar. Hello, Mr. Oscar.
Good evening, teacher.
How are you?
uh, I'm great, thank you.
Okay, all right. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm currently a student in UNAR, as my teacher said, and I'm currently studying informatics engineering or computer engineering. And I'm going to graduate this year. I just have one semester left.
Okay, great. All right. The first question has to do with what images spring to your mind or spring to mind when you hear the word media? Since today
Uh,
we're gonna talk about the media. Yes.
yes. So I think the first image that comes to mind is social media, because nowadays that's like the most representative thing the first thing you think of when it comes to media. And but you also have, like, I guess, TV, radio, and every kind of mean of communication.
Okay. Every means of communication.
Yes.
So which social network do you use, Mister?
I mostly use Twitter. I used to use a lot of Facebook, but nowadays I actually don't really like it that much, and so I'm sticking with Twitter. And
Oh, okay.
sometimes I guess with Reddit, which I guess is not very known, at least here in Colombia, but I use
Well,
that one as well.
okay. Why do you like Twitter?
I think because I can follow my favorite companies. I don't know, like Google or any
Tech company.
any yeah, any profile about a company, or maybe an artist or some celebrities that I might follow. And yeah.
It is speculated that the media has too much power. Do you think that is true?
Yes, I can actually agree with that, because I think with media is it can be a very dangerous topic, because as you said, it actually does hold a lot of power, because I think the main objective is to transmit or communicate something to the people, to the masses. And if the media is in maybe the wrong hands,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually, instead of being like an instrument, it can actually be used as a weapon to
Yes,
manipulate
exactly.
people or create fake news and everything like that. Yeah.
All right. So here in Colombia, there are a lot of media houses. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think um, what do you think are some of the good and bad things when it comes to the media?
Yes, I think nowadays, I think the good thing about media is the accessibility, because we can access to any kind of media. I mean, even with our phones, we can access to a lot of information. And social media, even people watch TV on their phones. So nowadays, that's normal. So I think that accessibility is pretty good. It's a good thing about the media. And maybe the bad thing, I guess, is uh, as we previously said in the previous question. But I mean, it also has a lot of power, and it can it can be used to for the wrong things. And especially, I can say that you see that a lot, maybe with Facebook, or from my experience, with fake news. That's a really bad thing that I can say, because I
Mhm.
think Colombia has a really big problem with that fake news.
Okay. All right. Now, do you like the fact that today media coverage of world events is instantaneous and quite extensive?
Yeah, I think that's actually very good, because if well, with the technology that we have nowadays, I think having information instantaneously, like from very like world events, from news from worldwide, that you can access just with the at the finger with your phone. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's actually a good thing.
Okay, cool. Now, what do you think about countries um, that ban or restrict the media? What do you think about such countries?
I honestly think that's, I don't know, I think that's very bad because yeah, I know some cases where I guess it has to do with a lot of with the politics of the country, like the culture of their beliefs. So they usually attack that kind of media that maybe goes against their beliefs or what they, yeah, about the culture or politics. And I think any kind of censoring is pretty bad because I mean that kind of violates the right, the violates the rights of
The people.
freedom of speech and yeah.
Mm. Do you believe in freedom of speech?
Yes, I do. I think that's, I think everyone has the right to speak whatever they think.
Mm.
And yeah, I do believe in freedom of speech.
So can you consider yourself as an activist for freedom of speech?
I mean, I would say so. I mean, I'm not very, I guess, not very active, but yeah, I do like to say what I think, at least with my friends or family. I do respect that. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is quite, controversial. Do you
Yes.
always believe in the media?
Actually, no, I actually don't, because I mean, I get most of my information from social media and don't usually watch that much TV nowadays. But even I think social media is kind of worse, but so that's why I don't really believe that much, at least at first sight. I always have to verify the sources.
Mhm.
I just don't stick with one header of an article or anything like that. I have to verify from different sources as if until I can confirm that what I'm reading is true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't usually believe like right away. No.
Okay, it is speculated that the media sometimes is biased towards some governments. Yeah, especially
Yes.
when the government is in power. Yeah, it is always
Yes.
biased towards the opposition. So sometimes because of their bias, it causes a lot of mishaps. Within the country. What do you
Yes.
think? Do you think the media is somehow biased towards some political parties?
Yes, I do think that it can be very biased because I mean it is kind of being controlled, or maybe the government takes a big part in the media, so it can be very biased in the I mean in the context, like they're usually going to do what benefits them. So you can actually see sometimes that there is a certain bias in the media,
Mm,
especially like in social media, and where there's more freedom of speech, and that it can, like, you actually don't know what to believe, and you can actually see very bias in the media.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes it happens. All right.
Yes.
You know, you are a young guy, yes, and you have lived to see how the media has been transitioned from one step to the other. How do you see the media in 30 years ago and that of today? Do you think there has been a lot of improvement in the right way?
Yes, I think that what we have today, I mean, we are very advanced in terms of technology. We have access to a lot of the media, like as said before, like phones and every kind of means of communication, and that we didn't have 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we barely had like maybe TV, radio, maybe the internet was just starting here in Colombia. And I think what we have today is good, but I think the media is also like getting a little bit out of control, like uh, because there's not that much control in the media. Because nowadays we actually have like deep fakes. I don't know if you've heard about that, like kind of like artificial intelligence try to replicate the face of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting kind of dangerous because it's getting a little bit out of control, maybe.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like the bad side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of progress, I think we're in a good position now. But we still have to take care of the dangers that it comes with it.
Mm. Can you think of um, any examples of media the media being irresponsible?
Yes, I guess I can see that with maybe the lack of information that maybe you can see in some reports in the news or something. Like they usually you can find news where they don't tell you the full picture, so you don't know what to think
Mm-hmm.
until maybe you speak with the person maybe involved in those situations. Because yeah, I think there's maybe the quality of the reports of the lack of information
Okay.
is like like in that case, like it can be very responsible for in when we talk about the media,
Mm.
when they don't do good reports and don't give you like the whole information.
Okay, great. Now, we're talking about the media and stuff like that. And one might, somebody might ask, okay, from the way Oscar is speaking, probably he might be interested in working for the media. Are you interested to work for the media someday?
uh, Honestly, I'm not sure. I right now I maybe I'm not that interested because despite this, I'm actually kind of shy, so I don't know if I will be willing to have that much attention. And I think to work in the media, you have to be very responsible, and you have to be very professional about that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a very delicate thing to work with. Because I mean, you're working to transmit information, to communicate something to someone, to people, and yeah, so I'm not sure if I will, at least not right now, but who knows, maybe in the future, like I can change my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. With time, everything changes. So
Yes.
probably you might change your mind. Like some years from now, you're gonna, come back to this video and then go like, yeah, I once said, one day I might be, you know, working for the media, and now it's a reality. Yeah, I'm not living the
Yeah,
dream. So who
that's
knows?
true. And
Probably.
also well, the technology is still going to evolve. So maybe
Yeah,
there's gonna way more ways to participate in the media. So yeah, who knows?
yeah. What do you think of the mass media?
Yeah, well, as I said before, I think it's good maybe in the term that in mass media, well, it's like information that is going to reach a lot of people,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it's kind of dangerous because, as I said before, maybe I repeated myself, but it can be very dangerous in the wrong hands, or people are using it with the wrong intentions,
Hmm.
and it can be used to maybe manipulate or to plant some ideas in people or sell ideas to people that maybe are wrong. So I think that's the dangerous part about the mass media. But yeah, that's what I think.
All right. So, you know, countries have good reputations and bad reputations when it comes to media. Yeah. Which
Yes.
countries do you think have good reputation, and which countries do you think they have bad reputation in terms of media coverage?
Yes. Okay. I think when it comes to bad reputation, I will actually say maybe like Colombia, Venezuela, because of what I've said before. Like there are a lot of fake news. You actually don't know what to believe until you really verify the sources, and like that's pretty bad. And in terms of maybe countries that have good reputation in media. I'm honestly not sure.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know if I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe USA, but I think I think the problem in Colombia is that we most people maybe don't have access to technology, or maybe older people don't really understand that very well, and that's why fake news actually still exist nowadays. It's getting a little bit out of control, but I think in countries like maybe USA or Canada or something like that, I think they know a little bit more about that. So, but yeah, I'm not really sure which country will have like very coverage in terms when we talk about media, but yeah, at least that's what I think.
Okay, so we all have phobias, yeah? Like I might be afraid of height. Oscar might be afraid of, ants, or maybe of anything that comes in mind, yeah?
Yes.
So it is in some way somehow speculated that, you know, we have the media has put some kind of fear in us, yeah? Do you think that people fear the media?
I guess I mean I think in a way, yeah, because I mean there's always that uh, internal fear that we are not being told the truth by our own government,
Mhm.
that we are being lied to, and I guess that's as kind of scary thought, because in a way that means that maybe we are being controlled, but we don't know about that. And it's like we've said before, the media holds a lot of power, so that's kind of scary if I mean if it's not being used like the right way.
Mhm.
That we always have to think about the people, but we don't know if the groups or the ones that are controlling the media, well, they think that as well. So I think that's a scary thought that many people could have. Yeah.
All right. The next one, or the next topic, or the next question I would like to ask is: should there be any form of censorship um, of the media?
I think I mostly will say no, but maybe there has to be a little bit of censorship when it comes. I don't know what will be the term in English, but I think well, I think we call, for example, amarillismo, like a way of shocking news, like shocking videos to get like a shock value reaction for people.
Mhm.
To yeah, that media can use, like maybe showing, I don't know, like like a homicide in a video or something, to impact people to get a reaction of them. And I think those videos, I think there are better ways to communicate something without using shock value videos. So
It's,
I
it's
maybe that's
like
like a
is it
yeah,
like
I think that,
something that that causes fear and panic? Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah, that. So yeah, I think maybe in a way there should be a little bit of censorship in that, and there are better ways to transmit something, to communicate something without using shock value. So yeah, that's what I think.
Mm. Do you think reporters today are kind of lazy, quote unquote?
Uh, I don't know if I will call it lazy, but I actually think that our new generation, I guess, I think we are more open minded. I think actually maybe reporters will get better or are getting better, because maybe most of them will actually like fight for the truth and try to do the right thing. But I guess it doesn't apply to everyone. I mean, we have cases of cases, so I don't know. Maybe there are reports that yeah, that they don't do a good job, or in Colombia we also have a lot of corruption. So I guess that can also affect the reporter's quality, I guess, of the reports. So, but I think overall, I think it's gonna get better. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think the media tries in any way to manipulate people, or change the views of people? Do you think that is quite possible?
And that bias can actually affect the opinion of other people. So to convince them to do something, that maybe they are not sure, but I mean, the media say so, then people are going to follow that. So in a way, they actually that do have that power to manipulate us. Uh, yeah, I think in a way, or in certain cases, that's the case. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the last question when it comes to the media. Can you hear me, Mister?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Is it a good idea for a country's media to be controlled by the government? Do you think that's a good idea for the media houses to be controlled by the government?
Yes. Well, I actually don't think so. I think the media does have to have some sort of control, because I mean, we can just let anyone to report anything, because I don't know, that can also be dangerous without any kind of control. But I wouldn't say that the government is a good first option. Maybe it's like trying to get like a neutral overseer of the media, like they don't have any bias, they can control like is being communicated to people, without it necessarily being the government. So
Okay,
yes.
great. I like that. Now we're moving to the second topic that has to do with movies. What you like, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So the first question would be like this. Do you think movies have been developing technology, or technology has been developing movies?
Yes. Well, I think that I think it goes both ways. I think movies can help to the evolution of the technology, because I think it comes a lot with the creativity when it comes to making a movie, and the writing, and maybe the source of the material. Like we actually see that a lot with sci-fi, that we is being introduced in the movies, like maybe new ways of technology that people, actually scientists or the people that work with that, can actually take some ideas from that. So in a way, movies actually help to develop technology, but at the same time, uh, uh, as years passes, the technology well is going to evolve, and that also are going to create new instruments or ways to create new movies with new to get new experiences from the movies.
Mm,
So I think that the technology, as is being developed, is also going to have like create new ways of showing a movie. So I think it goes both ways. Yeah.
okay, great. Now, what is the most horrible movie you have ever seen?
Yeah. I mean, like horrible in the way that has scared me, or that I think is bad. Or,
Yeah, in your own context. Yeah, like in your own point of view.
okay, like horrible movies. I think that maybe like a genre that I consider it to be horrible. I think when I guess movies that touches upon the topic of maybe gore, or like as I said before, like getting shock value,
Mm,
without unnecessarily, unless I think there has to be a differentiation if it actually helps like to develop the story of the movie, or when it's being used to get a shock reaction from the audience. I actually don't really like those kind of movies.
mm.
I don't usually watch them. And yeah, I will say that's like a genre that I don't really follow.
Okay, so what kind of movies do you like?
I mostly like maybe sci-fi movies,
Like
or
science fiction?
yeah, science fiction, and maybe psychological thrillers, and because I think the topics that they touch upon on is are very interesting.
Mm,
And as I said before, like it helps you to immerse in a new world, like a little bit of escapism from reality. So I think those kind of movies are kind of fun.
mm.
So those are usually the kind of movies that I watch. Yeah.
Okay, so talking about movies, can somebody ask Oscar or say that Oscar is addicted to movies? Is that possible?
Yeah, I don't really think so. Maybe not right now, but when I was a kid, I was like really into movies. When my parents gave me money, I usually used to save that money to buy movies from different stores, and I actually have my own little collection. So back
Okay.
then, I used to watch a lot of movies.
Oh,
Nowadays, but I don't really have that much time anymore. So I watch movies um, I guess it depends. When I have free time, maybe I can watch one movie, but not as much as I was a kid when I was a kid.
mm. Okay. Do you like to watch movies many times? Like, let's say when you like this movie, you feel like watching it over and over and over again. Does that happen to you?
Not really. I think it has to be. Maybe I have rewatched some movies, maybe that I've seen when I was a kid, maybe because of nostalgia. I revisit those movies to see how good they were and all of that. But I don't usually like rewatch them a lot of times.
Mm.
Maybe like 2 or 3 times, but more than that, I usually don't. Yeah.
Okay, so we all have preferences, yeah. Some prefer to watch movies, some prefer to watch um, series, some prefer to watch science fiction movies and stuff like that. Yeah. When it comes to movies and books, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to watch movies or do you prefer to read books?
I actually do enjoy it. I do enjoy reading a lot. So when there's a movie that maybe is based on a book, and if I have the time, I usually try to read the book first and maybe then watch the movie. But yeah, I actually do prefer reading first if the movie is based on a book. When it isn't, well, I guess the movie is just the only option. But because of time, maybe I haven't read as much as I would like to. I do want to read more. So that's like an objective that I have to read more at least this year, before end of this year. So yeah, I do prefer reading better than watching a movie first.
Okay, so what is your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie, I think it's kind of a hard question because the favorite movie always changes, I guess.
Mm.
Right now, I would say that my favorite movie is one called Pulp Fiction, which was directed by Tarantino. I
Mhm.
think he's a really good director. It's about crime, but he always finds like a way to do like crime stories with kind of comedy, like drama. I think it's a really good movie because it tells like a different stories in one movie, but they all connect at the end. So it's like a very creative way to tell a story. So I really like that movie.
Mhm. Okay, so we're wrapping up with a conversation, yeah, Mister. Um,
Yes.
First, we talked about the media, and now we are talking about movies.
Movies.
Now, do you think the media and the use of movies or watching movies is one of the ways to help improve, which has helped improve your English, if I should put it that way?
Yes, I actually they have helped me a lot because I do watch a lot of movies, like shows, and even media overall, like social media, especially. Like I've said before, I follow a lot of people in Twitter that speak English.
Mhm.
So it's something like I usually try to follow, like read something maybe in Twitter, like in English daily, read something in English, or anytime I want to watch a movie or watch a show, I always choose English. so I can improve that. And sometimes I still use some English subtitles because maybe I get a little bit lost when they talk really fast. But overall, it actually helps me a lot to improve my English and to try to like not forget all the things that I've learned before, because I daily, every day, I usually consume something that has English in it. So
Okay.
that helps me a lot, yeah.
So what can you tell people out there, what you have been doing all this while to get this level of English? What can you tell people?
Yeah, I think that can like an easy way to actually really help you to improve English is YouTube. I also follow a lot of channels in YouTube, but not really like channels that teach English, but maybe try to find a channel that talks about a topic that interested you. You know, like grab your attention,
Mm-hmm.
because that way you're gonna be invested in that video, and at the same time you're going to start learning the how they use the language in very maybe informal ways too. I think that in school we get taught that very formal English, but I think in YouTube you get like a sense of using the language in a very informal way, which will be the way that you will usually communicate with your family, with your friends. I think that when it comes to that, like YouTube and the channels that maybe grab your attention will be a good option to help you improve the language.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, Mister, we're coming to the end of this all important conversation talking about the media and movies. What can you say about this whole project that I am doing? What can you say?
Yeah, I actually do think it's a great project because the way you're doing it, I mean, it's like it helps open the door to different topics with discovering new ideas from different people. And I think it's a great way to also like practice the language, learn new things, probably from people like me, I guess. But yeah, it's like a way of this exploring different ideas from different people. And at the same time, well, you practice some English and listen to some the English and the use of it. And I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Oscar, for your time. I hope you have the very best in all your endeavors. And hopefully, one day we're going to come back and talk again. Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to. Thank you for having me. And yeah, have a great time talking about the media and my favorite movies. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.